Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Aradhya Singh, and you are watching EVxMART, the go-to source for all things EV. Today, we are driving out the Porsche Taycan. Not really. Well, we are out at Leopard Trails riding the TVS iQube S. And well, the S in the iQube S stands for sexy, just like me. Now the iQube has been around since the year that shall not be named. However, TVS finally decided to up the ante and give us this new variant called the iQube S. Now you all must be wondering, what exactly does the iQube S bring to the table? Well, for starters, the iQube S gets a lot more color options compared to the plain Jane white of the earlier one. However, this does also beg the question, should you be waiting for the ST variant instead? Well, I'm here to spill the beans, so buckle up, buttercup, and let's get started. Now before we begin to ride the iQube S, let's get to know it a little better with the numbers. जो वैसे तुम लोग तो ignore ही करने वाले हो, but for those who are interested, let's have a look.
Starting with the first and foremost important figure for an EV, that is range. And the iQube S gets a claimed range of 100 kilometers. The range reading is accurate, and not once did we feel any range anxiety, even in sports mode. The capacity of the battery pack is 3.4 kilowatt hour, while power output figures stand at 5.9 bhp and 140 Newton meters of peak torque. TVS claims a top speed of 78 kilometers per hour, but as you can see, we managed to actually squeeze a lot more on the highways of Gurgaon, and it doesn't feel out of place at all. Although, one must be careful with the regenerative braking system, which is still quite strong and takes some time getting used to.
Well, now that we know the iQube in numbers, let's take a quick look at its design. Now, as you can see, the design of the iQube has more or less remained same throughout all these years, except for the fact that the iQube S gets more color options. Particularly this grey one, which I actually quite like, and this might remind you of the first generation Suzuki Access. Now if you look at it over here, so here's the front DRL. You've got these LED tail lights, LED indicators, and TVS badging, the iQube badging in particular. Then we got this tiny little visor, and over here, so you have all these switches. We'll get back to that in a bit. Let's just take a quick look at the rear. So again, LED lighting, tail lights, indicators, all rear. And one very cool bit about it is this. So over here, now this is where the motor is, and if you look at it, it says TVS electric, and where the electric part is mentioned, so it lights up. It gives us this very cool blue shade, looks very cool at night, and it sort of blinks while charging. And then you can see the twin suspension, you got the twin forks, both sides, and they are adjustable. Now let's go over to the charging port. So here's where it is. Now charging time takes about 4 hours and 30 minutes. And as you can see, this is the storage hook. This is the first one. Then you have another one over here. Now it isn't quite high enough, but I would suspect it's good enough for small shopping bags. Then over here you have the brake lock clamp. It's very easy to activate. Just press the brake over here, and there you go. The lock clamp is activated, and yeah, that's how we unlock it. Now there's just one concern I have with the scooter, and it's over here. So this is the key slot, but it's not a multifunction key slot, meaning you can't open your seat from here. What you have to do is you remove the key. Okay, it's removed. You use this one, and you open it from here. So the key is open, and well, underseat storage is not bad, but it's the charging setup that eats up a lot of space. However, I do like one bit. It's a very thoughtful touch over here. This is the USB charging port. So yeah, I do appreciate that.
Now this is where the iQube S is a huge upgrade over the base variant, as it gets a whole new set of features, thereby making it appeal to a larger audience. The instrument cluster is a bigger 7-inch unit, which can be controlled via a joystick placed near the turn indicator switch. And you can customize the themes on the cluster. There's music streaming on offer, and you also get call and SMS alerts along with WhatsApp notifications. How it functions is something we'll get to in a bit. The iQube S also gets smartphone connectivity via Bluetooth, a dedicated app for information related to your scooter, along with other features such as geofencing, live location, crash alerts, anti-theft system, and plenty more.
So let's talk about the features over here. I've turned on the scooter, and okay, So I need to press the brake lever and the mode switch to start riding. Makes this loud noise, and there we have it. So right now we're in eco mode. Now this instrument cluster is bigger than on the previous version of the iQube. This is a 7-inch unit, and it's not touchscreen because the ST gets that. Instead, we get a joystick over here, through which we can control the functions as the phone gets paired to Bluetooth. So we have the icons over here: the Bluetooth pairing, phone signal, the battery, if you can see that, and the location that we are in. Then you have the odometer and the trip meters. Okay, let me just, in fact, oh, so my phone is connected. Okay, now the thing about this instrument cluster is that it doesn't really work the way you expect it to. Like, the joystick, it has a mind of its own. You press it, so there we have it, the music icon is over here. But if I want to switch to WhatsApp notifications or social media notifications in particular, it just doesn't work half the time. And even navigation is a little, I would say, messed up, because the app has to be continuously switched on in order for the navigation to, calibrate the distance properly. And that's why it doesn't really work half the time. Like, you have to really keep your phone turned on in order for the navigation to work. If you use it in the background, it's just not going to happen. But overall, I would say this is still a very neat looking instrument cluster, and you can change the modes of it. So this is where you change the modes from. Change the mode, and now we're in power. Appearance is different, the color theme and all. You can change the themes via this joystick. I hope it works. Okay, it's not working. It has a mind of its own. Okay, so WhatsApp notifications, okay, finally over here. And well, these are the high beam and low beam switches, the indicators, the horn, quite loud. Hazard switches, again quite loud. Then you have the reverse mode. I would say it works fairly decently, but the reverse beeping, well, I can understand why some people find it annoying. But then the Aether also has it, but it's more subdued. So yeah. Overall, I would say the features list is quite impressive, but I just wish it was calibrated a little better. Maybe TVS would bring an update later. Maybe with the ST variant, the S also could get an update. Who knows? But overall, I'm satisfied. It just could be a little better. Now TVS has made it very clear that the iQube S is a comfortable, practical family scooter, जो कि आपके घर पे सब लोग आराम से चला सकते हैं. However, this iQube S, this is no slouch by any standards. हमारे हाई स्पीड टेस्ट में हमने देखा कि the iQube S can do 88 km/h, जो कि TVS की claim top speed से 10 km ज़्यादा है. Now let's talk about the riding and handling of the scooter. And the iQube S, it impresses in that regard. Yes, TVS has made it clear that the iQube S is a comfortable, practical family scooter, but it allows you to have that extra bit of fun, and I think that's wonderful. The scooter is lightweight, and the suspension is set up on the softer side, so it does tend to get a little bouncy when you have a pillion on board, but overall the ride is soft, it's comfortable, and yes, it tips into the corners fairly easily, and at the same time, you can get out of corners at a very reasonable speed. So I think that's very impressive. So what do I think about the iQube S? Well, for starters, the fact that it comes from a reputed manufacturer like TVS definitely makes a strong case for itself, and the iQube brand has proven itself over the years. The iQube S is a better product, gets you more features, gets you more color options. The ride and handling dynamics are very sorted. Yes, the instrument cluster and the joystick could work a little better. They do tend to lag a little bit, and the regen is something that you have to get used to because it's very strong. But overall, the iQube S is a product that you should be considering, especially when you factor the very compelling price tag. We also want to take this moment to thank Chaudhary TVS for providing us with this model of the iQube S. If you like this video, do give it a thumbs up, leave a comment down below, and stay subscribed to EVxMART for all things EV.